But I've got another one. We'll talk more about the fundamental stuff a little later. I want to save that for a section where we'll talk about trading. I think we only have about another hour or so, and I'll have you guys out of here. But let's talk about another altcoin, one of my favorite altcoins. I think one of the most things that's probably constant in everybody's life is the fact that, we all have to live life and pay bills, okay? We all have to eat. We need a roof over our head. And these things are constant. They come on a repeated clock or schedule as it pertains to our bills, as bills are concerned. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with in your normal market space or in the normal market landscape, the ones that we're familiar with as it pertains to the equities market and the bond market, whether it's the debt market. I'm sure you're familiar with the dividends or distributions that are paid out. Obviously, if I'm trading, or I'm not necessarily trading, but holding and investing in stocks, and I'm holding a stock for the long term, I might have a stock pay me dividends. If I put money into a CD account with a bank, that CD is going to have a certain face value based on interest, and I'm going to get paid based on holding my money in that CD account. As well as if I was to purchase and invest in a bond or U.S. Treasuries or any kind of bond, whether it was a corporate bond for that matter, I'm going to be paid a certain interest based on a certain face value of that particular bond, okay? What we are seeing now is a lot of assets are, again, moving to being tokenized or moving to being coins. And one of those coins, you can see, if you look at the top 20 coins, Bitconnect is in the top 20. It's actually, I believe, in top 16. If you calculate all of the coins in its total market cap, I believe would be even at around number 8. But Bitconnect is a blockchain bond. It's a coin as well as a blockchain bond. They have a lending program where you're able to make a continuous interest that is on average 1% per day interest on your money. And that money is available immediately when they release the funds into the account. Now, let's talk briefly here about some of the statistics or some of the fundamentals, shall I say. One second here. So when I first got into Bitconnect, the price of Bitconnect was, I think, roughly around like $10, something like that, maybe around 10, 11 bucks. I added on to the position at $25 in June. When I brought it to my investors, it was around $111, okay? 116 bucks. You can actually see here on this slide where it says 116.47.5, okay? That was the price when I made the slide a few months ago. The price of the coin when I had captured the top was $370. The market moves so much and so fast. The coin, I believe, is peaked at around like $450, something like that. Right now, I believe it sits at around $422, $450. It fluctuates because the market is not as liquid, but I mean, you see good swings. I mean, last week a couple weeks ago, it dropped to $325, and we were able to engage at $325 and see it rise back to $450. So that was a $100 gain, for every dollar you had invested. I'm sorry, not a $100 gain for every dollar you had invested, but $100 a gain for the coin. And you just seen that kind of rise. I believe it was a 33% gain or 25% gain on your capital as the coin exploded 25% in just 1 or 2 days, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that's some coin right there. I tell you that much. Its market cap at the time I made this thing was $789 million. The number is so large, it's even hard to say. 789 million was the market cap. Right now it's at 1.1 billion for the circulating coin supply, with about 2.5 billion in the coin's market cap for the coins that are inside the blockchain bond program. Okay. So what is Bitconnect coin? Again, it's decentralized. It's non-government, peer-to-peer, open source blockchain technology, which makes it safe and secure. Okay, it's its own ecosystem. Now, you can see that on, if you went to coinmarketcap.com, on CoinMarketCap, in, I guess, coin price, Bitconnect is only number 5, okay, as far as coin price is concerned. It was approaching Ethereum at the time of writing this, but you can see Ethereum has exploded. It's almost approaching 1,000. I mean, I made this slide like maybe a week or so ago. So just understand that this market's exploding. You don't have to believe me to see it. You can see it yourself by looking at the price of these coins from just a week back to even 2 weeks back. Okay. For the roadmap, obviously with the roadmap, there were some things on this that kind of made it monumental, and I believe it was the year mark. Why does the team behind Bitconnect want to remain anonymous? Just like Social, all I have to do is 2 words, Adam. Satoshi Nakamoto. Moving on. Well, obviously, just like Satoshi Nakamoto or anybody else behind blockchain wants to remain anonymous, it's for their own protection. The government understands that anything that can undermine the financial system and be a threat to the financial system is something that they'd want to police and control. So any source or centralized authority they can go after. But obviously, also that defeats the purpose of blockchain. It's having a centralized control. That means that they can run away with manipulation, corruption, or just incompetence. Okay. Now, Bitconnect coin, it had its initial coin offering in November of last year. It's been around for a long time now. And I know a long time, 1 year is not a long time, but in blockchain time, that's forever. Okay. Bitcoin date time, that's forever. Okay. Bitcoin's only been around for about almost 9 years. So you can see a year out of the 9 that's a long time. They created the desktop wallet in January, came out with the exchange, and then there was the lending. Okay, Bitconnect lending platform went live in January as well. Now, the very important thing that I think that was the most significant was the fact that they took it and they went to the Block Explorer. And at that point, no one within the Bitconnect organization was in control of the Bitconnect coin or the ecosystem itself. Obviously, the bidders and the offers, the sellers inside the exchange are the ones that provide the liquidity and determine the actual price of the coin. So it's the supply and demand that actually drives this particular coin. There were some other developments, such as the listing on exchanges. The listing on exchanges was, I believe, very important because not only was it listed on internal exchanges, but the fact that it was listed on external exchanges allowed you to see the liquidity and order book in a true sense, or from a true standpoint. A lot of times if I've got an internal order book, it can be manipulated, so to speak, or the orders can be easily weighted where they're being manipulated by the person that's controlling or holding a bulk of the coins. When you're seeing the exchange or the coin listed on other exchanges, if you're trading with one exchange and it goes down or sees the server kind of get bogged up, like we've seen with Coin Exchange, you can actually go to other exchanges. Okay, they then went in, was listed on CoinMarketCap, which was very important because that's almost like being listed on a list, the S&P 500 or of sorts. Then there was the mining pool, which you basically could go in and start mining Bitcoin. And mining, we won't talk about mining in this particular webinar, but we do talk about mining in other webinars. The Android wallet came out in March. Partnerships were also established in March, as well as debugging the system, and they're continuing to develop and do more debugging. But in April, the marketing campaign started to be ramped up. They came out with the iPhone or the Android app in May, and then the iPhone app in May. So basically both of them in 2017 became available. But the biggest thing is they followed the things on the roadmap to a T. And they're actually doing this stuff, which shows that they're a real company. It's not just some company that created a pump and dump coin, so to speak. And you can see that with the market cap growing to 3.5 billion. They improved the security, did a lot of promotions, did crypto awareness programs by adding some bonus programs and structures. And then the staking became available in August of 2017, which is pretty huge as it pertains to any coin for that matter, because the POS algorithms rather than the POW, proof of work, are a lot easier to manage and be able to make yield on your coins rather than buying a bunch of mining machines. They did a lot of security feature enhancements, and we are now, I believe in October, they recently came out with BCC Pay. BCC Pay was a debit card that basically allows you to spend the money within the wallet on the Bitconnect platform. Now, Bitconnect, how do we buy Bitconnect? Well, you register for an account, deposit Bitcoin. Notice it's only Bitcoin into the BCC exchange. You then place an order. The order is executed, and then it's confirmed in your wallet. Okay. Now, just like most other exchanges and brokers that you trade with, Bitconnect offers the ability to be able to trade on just about any platform, or just you also can see your account and manage things from just about any platform, whether it's the Mac or a Windows. They also have the Linux desktop. Okay. The coin, again, it started out at 17 cents initially, or not started out, but it was 17 cents in February, and since has risen to high heights. The biggest thing behind its rise is supply and demand. If you understand anything about supply and demand is very important, especially when we're talking about an asset that we're holding. This coin has 28 million coins in its max supply. And for those of you that are already inside Bitconnect, you're understanding and already seeing the rise in the coin and in the profits that you're gaining from just from being a part of the ecosystem. But it's driven in demand because there is a built-in demand. It pays, baby, it pays. And it pays on time. Yes, it does. So the fact that it pays, the demand will be high and will stay high. For those that know about Bitconnect, will be involved in Bitconnect and will be investing in Bitconnect. For those that don't, obviously the marketing and the word of mouth will end up seeing you eventually hearing about it some way, shape, or form, or some kind of blockchain bond, as there are a lot of different things out there as far as blockchain is concerned. Now, if you look at the chart, you can actually see where we started out at it was 26.71 on January 20th, 2017, and then we seen a high as of December 8th. Remember, this was 10 days ago. Okay, at $418. I believe it jumped all the way to $450. But I mean, come on, look, this is literally a way to turn your whole financial situation around. If you'd invested just $100, I'm gonna do the math real quick. Hold on one second. Let's do the math. So $100 divided by 17 cents, that would have been 588.23 Bitcoins or Bitconnect coins. Now, let's say at 418 bucks, that's $245,882. Your $100 would have turned into $245,882. That's why you can't afford not to transition to crypto. You can't afford. Why are you going to work when you could have been sitting on the computer and making one trade and it would have changed your life? Okay. Hold on one second, guys. So you can see that this alone should be, I mean, I really, really want to let this sink in here, okay? Because I just gave you guys a prime example. $100, only $100 literally would have turned your financial situation around, right? Right? I'm actually going to give you the link to Torrent, so don't go too fast. Don't go running to go sign up, all right? Because you get rewarded for using a particular sponsor link, all right? But hold on one second here. Moving on. So what can you do with Bitconnect? There's a few things that you can do with Bitconnect. My favorite is obviously investing. I like to hold the coin as well as invest in the blockchain bond platform. But staking the coin is good as well. You can put your coins up and have the ability to be able to be paid in interest, and the interest is paid in coins. It typically is anywhere between 50 to 0.25 per quarter per day in interest. Half a percent to a quarter of a percent, shall I say, as far as the staking is concerned, on the amount of coins that you're staking or putting up. And then they've got mining as well. Now, there's different coin specifications, but the biggest thing is the coins abbreviation is BCC. They've got 26.2 for the proof of work, and only 20.4 for the proof of stake. Block spacings 2 minutes. The minimum stake age 15 days. But again, max coins is 28 million. Now, how do we deposit money into the platform? Obviously, I will be doing a workshop where I go a little bit more in depth on this, but as you can see here, you again deposit Bitcoin into the platform, only Bitcoin. You buy Bitconnect coin, you would then lend Bitconnect coin on the platform, and then you earn daily profit. They pay you daily interest, which is typically 1%, sometimes higher. There's been days where they paid 2%. I'm not lying. I've got a lending platform, which is BitSerial. I'll go into it in a second. I got 3% interest today on that thing. Man, can't beat that with a stick. So let's take a look at what they're doing and how they're paying. Now, if you understand how I was able to turn, or how you would be able to turn $100 into over 200 something grand, just from being a novice, think about what a bot or a trading bot can do. Well, they've developed algorithms to trade their coin and other coins, and they share the profits with their investors by paying a certain interest that pays out per day. And this interest and term is based on how much you invest. You can see that they start with $100 to $1,000. They'll lock the money in for 299 days. And the interest here is just strictly the volatility interest. If you trade and do all of the different things within the the scope of the coin, you can get up to 40% a month return on your money. I'm living proof. But there is no guaranteed interest on this particular platform here. Now, if you go up to the 1,010 to 5,000 plateau, it's a guaranteed 0.1%, 239 days. Okay, the money's locked in for 239 days, but you're guaranteed about 3.1% per day to 3.1% per month to 3% per month, depending on it being 30 to 31 days in the month. And that's just if you add the 0.1%. This doesn't include the volatility interest. Okay, this is the locked in guaranteed interest. On average, the volatility interest will be about 1%. There are some days where there is no interest paid for volatility because there was no volatility. Now, the two tiers that are the most powerful, where they start to really pay you more, is the 5,010 to 10,000 and the 10,010 to 100,000. Now, you can invest more than 100,000 in this platform. You just can't do more than $100,000 in any particular bond. So for the 5,010, they pay you a guaranteed 0.2% plus the volatility interest. The money's only locked in for 179 days, just under 6 months. The most valuable one, the most lucrative one, is the top tier, 10,010. It guarantees you 0.25% interest per day, which averages out to about 7.5% per month guaranteed on your money. Plus the volatility interest, you can make, again, about 30% a month return on your investment from this platform. You can increase that if you're trading it accordingly, and we do show you how to do that within the Block Traders Corner. But your money's only tied up for 4 months. Now, here's the thing about this. Here's what makes this very powerful. Because the money's locked in, and about 2.5 billion is locked in the market cap, that creates built-in liquidity, which keeps your money safe. And as long as you're in the higher tier, you're getting your money back faster, which means you reach break even faster because of the higher yield you're making. You also get your money back before the people in the lower tiers. That means I could be in this thing for about 100 days, putting in 1,000, and someone can come in after me and be in at 101 days, and they're going to get their capital before I am, because their capital is only locked in for 120 days. and they're going to be at break even a lot sooner. So this, in essence, protects you from even if the thing were to happen to see a serious drawdown or collapse. You'd be getting your money out of the blockchain smart contract, or in this case, it's blockchain. And on blockchain, it is already inside the agreement that states you get the capital back based on the end of term, okay? But you can see anywhere between 400 to 436% return on your investment annually if you go in and opt to reinvest and roll the investment back in. Now the other tiers, the two other tiers that I talked about where they're a little more lucrative, you got 472% return to 490% return on your investment. This is passive investing. Now, if you were to actively invest in the crypto market, you can make 10,000% return. That's why it's funny when people say, no, that's not possible. It's not possible in the equities market. Sure as heck ain't possible in futures or Forex. It's not possible in equities and futures because they got limit moves and circuit breakers, so they won't let it be possible because they're the ones that have to pay out. Moving on. So if you look at the different lending tiers, you can see that the terms are based on how much money you're putting into the platform, okay? If I'm putting in more, I'm being rewarded by getting back my money faster through the higher interest, also the shorter term. So the one over to the left is the one that's a little more lucrative. You can also build up by reinvesting. The thing is that the terms will be separate as each loan is separate. They're not going to be accumulated into one, okay? Now, they also got Bitcoin Bitconnect trading. You can trade Bitconnect. You simply just pretty much go in and buy and sell from the wallet that's inside the wallet. Mining, you have that as well. We won't talk about the mining much, but I will briefly kind of go over the staking just so you guys can kind of see the staking. So initially during the first 6 months, it was 60%. So it was 10% a month that you would get for staking your coins. Now you could stop and take your coins at any time. Obviously forfeit, the interest if you were to opt out early. But the beautiful thing with the staking is I'm not locked in for a certain term. It's a shorter term. You just have to keep them in there for, I believe, at least 2 weeks. And then from there, you're going to be able to start receiving the coins. It's a minimum of 15 days to start earning the staking interest, okay? But right now, we're currently only seeing 8% per month, but that's still pretty good money and return on my investment because I'm also seeing the gain and appreciation on the coin. When you lend and do the bond program, it's in dollars. That means you fix fixed exchange rate, and that's the amount of money you're going to make based off that exchange rate. Now, here is the link. Staff, go ahead and hit them with the link. So there's a sign up link to register for Bitconnect. All right, that's bitconnect.co/ref =BitGod7. Okay, so those of you that want to sign up for Bitconnect, go ahead and do so. I am almost done. I've got a few more opportunities to go over, so I definitely want to kind of keep the pace, keep things rolling. All right, but you guys see there in the comment section, there's the link. Want to sign up for Bitconnect, please do so. You can start with $100. Just test the waters. All right. I promise you won't be disappointed. Okay.